Up YouTube. This job hunting experience, I'm gonna tell y'all, is absolutely like none other. It's like a nightmare, and I say this because one, I made my own bed, so I have to lie in it. I mean, I really, but it's like a catch-22 because I can't, I don't, I can't take any more mental abuse, So I have to find a company, that really is at least being respectful to me. But on the other hand, when it gets down to the wire where it's like, okay, you got some bills to pay. That's the part that's scary. But it's like, with the mental abuse thing, just like abuse from a lover or something like that, that stuff, it'll scar you forever. And I think that through the years now, I've been abused enough where, I really cannot, I can't take, I can't do it anymore. Because just like, the one thing is that they say, well, you be the bigger person and you kind of rise above it. But if you're the bigger person and it doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying, where nobody else realizes, there's a difference between right and wrong, you're just being abused. That's what it boils down to. No one's learning anything. You're just being abused. People see that something wrong is going on, but they're doing nothing. And I talked the other day about the, bus drivers, and I had mentioned, I didn't tell this story, but there was some guy that was just really disrespectful towards women. And it got to the point where I wasn't feeling well. I was frustrated about jobs, and I just had to speak up. And the bus drivers that were quote unquote good, later on, I guess they had a conversation about it because one of them came to me and was just like, don't say anything. But the thing about it that tripped me out is that, I mean, when good people are silent and they don't say anything, that's when all the bad stuff happens. Because it's like you're just as bad or worse than the people that's doing the bad because you're condoning it. So you don't even stand for good anymore because you're standing for the bad. And it's like, I mean, just so much. I've taken so much abuse over the years. Like I said, the legal system, that's ongoing for that's gonna be abuse forever. They don't even have to do anything. All their little minions and the system is in place to abuse me afterwards. And it's like, I can't take like any more verbal abuse, any mental abuse, just unnecessarily. And you have to be there. I think if anybody has worked with me and was a decent person, there's one place they can attest. You know what I'm saying? That I endured some things, and it's just unnecessary. I endured it for the legal system because if I did not endure it, I didn't want any problems. So I endured it. And I'm not a violent person or um, a person that likes to cause problems. I just do my work and that's it. But sometimes it's how you do your work that people get upset about, because they may feel different ways toward it. But I mean, so I can't take that anymore. And then, I can't take any more abuse. All I have, I'm not young anymore. I'm almost 40. And all I have is me in my mind. And if I continuously allow people to pound at me like that, you know, what am I going to have left once they take it all? So, but then it's the dilemma of where, you're desperately looking for work and you're looking for good work and you're just in confidence that there's got to be something good out there, and then you realize, okay, well, you take anything for the time being. But it's a very thin line because with all that abuse, that's painful. You can't really endure it, and just the process of looking is abusive because you're dealing with unprofessional people you know so like I said, I've been looking at other alternatives, and what makes this even more of a nightmarish situation for me is like it's a catch-22 all the way around. You really are looking. You deserve and you are qualified for professional positions, but if you're going based on paper, you're not going to make it because of that thing. And it's not even really on there like that anymore. But not everybody has the systems updated. And then the other portion of it is that, you don't have all those years, being in that system thing. You don't have the appropriate references anymore. You don't have the history as solid as maybe some others might. So, I mean, that part of it's hard. And then the other catch 22 of it is that, you don't want to be abused. So you don't want to just jump into anything. And like one guy was mentioning, I didn't mention it, but they got these telemarketing jobs out there that don't pay you anything. Once you make a sale, you get paid. So you slave for like 2 weeks before you make one sale. That's not even worth the whole thing. And you spent hours, and it's because the market is slow. And there's people that really work jobs like that, like 5, 6 months, and then sometimes they don't even get paid anything. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, at least when you go to like labor intensive jobs, you know that you're getting paid. And to have employers that kind of rip you off, for money and stuff like that. I mean, it's just the whole process is exhausting from beginning to end, and it's meant to enslave you. Because even though my thing of looking for better employment, if you don't have money to you know put a foundation for yourself, which the legal system does when it takes away any talent, the validity of any talent or skill that you have, and in order to make it in this world, you got to make people perceive you to be something that you are. You can't show your weaknesses. And I'm a good person through and through. I don't hide anything. But the thing is that I show my weaknesses, and people they don't like to see the weaknesses because it reminds them of their weaknesses. And so that leaves a bad taste in their mouth. So I mean, like this whole situation is nightmarish. Like if you could see like the environment that I'm in right now, boy oh boy, I tell you, and it's just like there's rats in here. Like I hear them. And the thing was, I saw this thing on BuzzFeed the other day about how rats multiply. Like you get two, and then they can have X amount times X amount times X amount. And at first, it was just like one that ran over when they tore down this place. And then I guess he found a mate because now I'm hearing them, like they're talking like chipmunks. They're talking back and forth. And then it's like normally they would stay at one end, but then I'm hearing them like scurrying. Like I'm hoping it was in the walls, but I know that it's not in the walls. It's like scurrying in the dresser or something. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then trying to focus on looking for a job through that when there's no jobs, trying to find alternative methods of work. Then at least I'm gonna say this. I did, like I said, post on the social networking thing, and at least I had valid responses from people that were just like, yo, they were looking for jobs too. So I don't know, it's just exhausting. And so the ironic thing about it all is I was doing all this to escape slavery, and I'm even more of a slave now than I am now. So then, except I'm not being held to mental abuse all day and all night, but I'm even more of a slave because I have not seen the sunlight at all today. I've been in here all day long looking for jobs, literally all day long. The only break that I gave myself, because I was like, I gotta focus on something different then this I gotta let myself wind down from this. It's like a catch 22 because you can't stop looking because you need a job, so you don't even feel right taking a break for like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And then when you do take your break, it's like you feel like you're cheating yourself because that's time you could have been looking for a job. But then it's a point where you just get exhausted. Like I said, I was mad at myself this morning because like I said, I was up since like 6 something, but I didn't start looking until like 9:40. And I was mad at myself a little bit about that. But I mean, dog, I've been working straight through almost 12 hours straight. Did I have a break? I ate a couple of tangerines and the topping off of a pizza. You know, So I didn't get a chance to see the sunlight at all today. I didn't get a chance to go outside. So I'm even more of a slave. And maybe that's what other people had to realize for them to get to that point. I'm even more of a slave than I was before. I'm just here the whole time, like just literally just focused on um finding work. And hopefully, like I said, all of the letters and stuff will pour in on Monday. And then it's just the whole thing is just it's scary, but it shouldn't be scary because it's not. It's like what the consequences are. You know what I'm saying? So it should not be scary because it's either A or B. It's gonna happen. And it's not like you haven't been there before, but this would be the first time I'm there, you know, of my own. Like I'm there because of my own, doing, but it's all residual from the legal thing. And it's just, y'all, I gotta tell you, I'm tired. I'm tired of a lot of stuff. I know what kind of person I am, and I know what skills and talents I got, but it's just like almost like they're trying to put that on mute, you know, as if it doesn't exist. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting looking at these jobs where these people are just so unprofessional. I just and then the thing about it that scares me a little bit, because being in that legal situation, it's like you even though you're not like in jail or anything like that, it's like you're dropped out of society. It's like I've been out of society for like 7 years or so, and the scientific portion is that after 7 years you become a whole new person anyhow. But it's like I've dropped out of society for that time, for that amount of time. So maybe that's the way the world is now. Maybe everybody's just rude and unprofessional. Maybe those are the people that rule the world now. So I'm just like, I don't know. So I am, you know, and my feet are busted from walking to all these interviews for real. I mean, like the skin is literally peeling off of my feet. And then I don't know. And so, but if that man, like they say, he's not coming back until maybe Wednesday or something like that. And the scary thing that bothers me about that, like that man, I felt like when I was in that interview with him, like I said, if that girl wasn't there, I really would have felt uncomfortable. And I felt uncomfortable anyway, but I would have felt like I was being assaulted. You know what I'm saying? And what scares me about this situation, the turning point of it is, I intentionally didn't have kids so I wouldn't be a slave like this. But if Wednesday rolls around and he offers me that, I don't want that job, but God forbid, I might have to take it. And he might, and I don't know which is worse, the fact that if he doesn't offer that to me. But what scares me about it or makes me feel bad is that I felt like, looking back on it, I was disrespected during that interview. You don't ask people questions like that, and then if they tell you no, no, you know. And so the feeling that I get is, the thing that kind of gives me that bad feeling is like, suppose he interviewed other people and he didn't treat them like that. He treated them well. And he didn't like keep offering them stuff that was inappropriate, you know? I mean, it was really inappropriate. It almost felt like maybe he thought because I'm a female my age and I'm walking in this, that, and the other, that maybe he felt that I was like a street person or whatever. And maybe that's why he came to me like that. But I don't like that. So the next time, I'm just going to tell him straight up, that's inappropriate. Are you looking for a date or are you looking for somebody to have a job? You know? It was really inappropriate. So I don't like people coming at me like that. He had no reason to come at me like that at all. At all. So, I mean, that's the nightmare of the job hunt thing. How do I feel about what I've done so far? I feel like I'm doing the right thing. Um, I'm looking diligently. I'm making it clear what I'm looking for. There's certain things that I'm coming across that I wasn't expecting. Like I said, that guy keep asking me to give me a ride. What kind of employer is that? I wasn't expecting that. There's some things that I expected that I hadn't come to terms to, like, rude employers and stuff like that. But it's all a learning experience. But I'm confident. I feel that I really am doing the right thing by looking and looking hard. I feel confident that I'm doing the right thing, and at least letting my presence speak up for myself. If I'm not verbally saying, I feel confident in doing the right thing, that I'm being aware, of, what I'm saying, that hey, that's wrong. I'm aware that it's wrong. So, I'm the kind of person I always want to believe in good. So I always give the benefit of the doubt. And I'm gonna do the best to do what I'm supposed to do to make things happen. And like I said, I don't really know what the outcome is, but I'm just exhausted. I've been working straight, and not just fun work, but like working like, oh my gosh, working like stressing, working for almost 12 hours straight, no break, nothing. So You know, I ate a little bit, so I'm gonna send a break. But anyways, my time is up. Done with my little party.